Tran Diep steps onto the star-forbidden land, feeling cosmic energy swirling beneath his cautious feet. The sky shimmers with countless blades of starlight, suspended like swords poised to strike intruders down. Ancient winds howl through broken stone, echoing beasts' roars from forgotten eras long before memory. Tran Diep's grip tightens on Diep Pham, drawing steady breath before crossing the radiant barrier. He recalls Lin Soul Tower battles, growth and pain sharpening his sword heart beyond youth. Behind him lies loyalty and friendship. Ahead stretches mystery, danger, and hidden celestial truths untold. A massive boulder splits apart, revealing glowing sigils older than mountains, pulsating with golden force. Tran Diep channels Yuan sword art, letting azure aura rise, surrounding his calm figure entirely. He steps forward, entering golden light, feeling space distort like liquid flowing between unseen worlds. Stars bloom around him, suspended rocks collide gently, creating bursts of radiant dust like fireworks. In the center floats a colossal tree, roots sinking into void, leaves shining starlight bright. Symbols crawl across its bark, each rune glowing, whispering secrets of ancient swordmasters. Tran Diep recognizes Tin Thursday Nuyenso from old scrolls, rare destiny beckoning only worthy. Each leaf hides cosmic scripture. One verse learned could elevate his sword path beyond heavens. A guttural roar shatters stillness as a silver-scaled beast emerges, wings shimmering crystalline reflections. Its 6 wings beat, slicing space, eyes burning red suns locking upon Tran Diep's form. Tran Diep raises Diep Pham, focusing inner power, letting calm overcome fear. Forging intent sharp. Beast lunges, claws tearing void open, releasing storms of fragmented energy twisting around them wildly. He sidesteps, counterstrikes with spiral sword aura, shattering incoming blow, scattering fragments like stardust. Sweat beads on forehead but gaze remains tranquil. This is the trial fate demands now. Unleashing Van An sword phantom technique. Hundreds of illusory blades whirl around forming deadly maelstrom. Beast shrieks as silver scales crack, glowing essence leaking like molten moonlight onto void. It retreats, then fuses with a rune on tree trunk, triggering brilliant golden cascade overhead. Tran Diep stands bathed in light. Foreign knowledge pours into mind, unlocking celestial sword character. The rune reads keen sword itself. His inner intent sharpens, edges unseen but cutting. Joy flickers within. He's found first treasure, yet challenge clearly has not ended even here. Ground trembles, star rocks split open, revealing phantom figures carrying countless sword styles eternal. These are sword spirits left by ancient saint, guardians testing intruder's heart and blade. Hundreds encircle Tin Thursday Nuyenso, shimmering forms of blades, spears, arcs of energy. Tran Diep steadies breath. Only unwavering heart and disciplined sword can survive next endless onslaught. He closes eyes, merging with sword intent, hearing silence between stars, feeling pulse of void. Sword spirits surge forward like cosmic tide, blades flashing arcs of starlight severing empty darkness. Diep Pham sings as it moves, forming streams of blue lightning weaving protective lattice around him. Each strike tests his willpower, each parry shapes new understanding, forging deeper resonance with sword. One spirit mimics dragon style, another echoes phoenix wings. All forms interlace beyond mortal learning. Sweat mixes with blood on his hands, yet his stance grows stronger, steps firmer now. In battle's heart, he forgets fear, discovering freedom hidden within perfect alignment of breath. Sword after sword collapses into light shards, merging into his aura, gifting memory of moves. Slowly his mind clears, feeling like horizon expanding, reaching realms beyond his previous comprehension entire. When last spirit dissolves, stillness returns, stars pulsing like calm heartbeats within vast cosmic sea. Tree trembles, releasing rain of light. Each droplet a tiny world of pure energy. 2 characters burn upon his forehead, Kim and Tam, merging sword and heart in unity. His sword aura doubles, flowing smoother, heavier, yet lighter, transcending mortal constraints entirely. He gazes upward, countless runes still await, each promising danger, wisdom, unimaginable power within. Memories of companions flicker again. Their trust fuels determination to endure celestial trials unshaken. A crystalline pathway emerges ahead, leading deeper into forbidden realm, shimmering like frozen dawn. He sheaths Diep Pham briefly, palms trembling from fight, yet soul steadier than mountain roots. Stars whisper prophecies around him, fragments of ancient voices guiding his destined steps forward. He inhales cosmic wind, cold yet invigorating, sensing future battles where only courage matters. His figure strides toward Gateway, silhouette merging with swirling lights, forging path none dared tread. Beyond Gateway echoes faint laughter of unseen being, testing resolve of every intruder entering realm. Tran Diep's pulse slows. He centers breath, letting calm dominate inner storm, steadying sword intent. He recalls Master's words. Sword reflects heart. Heart steadies sword. Lose one, you shatter both. Each step draws him nearer to unknown, yet spirit burns hotter, forging indomitable will anew. Space warps, stars stretching like threads. Reality bends under weight of hidden heavenly mechanisms, eternal. He senses gaze of colossal entity beyond veil, curiosity mingled with challenge, ancient yet alive. Diep Pham hums, resonating with cosmic field, as if awakening deeper potential long dormant inside. He whispers vow to himself, promising to protect friends, fulfill destiny, master sword completely. Gateway's runes pulse. Cosmic wind howls louder. Pressure builds like tidal wave of starlight energy, yet Tran Diep stands unmoved, posture calm, eyes like twin comets burning unyielding across darkness vast. Within shimmering corridor appear visions of his past, testing guilt, doubt, regrets to break him. Childhood memories, loss of family, betrayals flicker like illusions, each one slicing at heartstrings, mercilessly. He grips sword tighter, letting blade's cool edge remind truth of present, cutting lies. With one strike he severs illusion, shards of memory scattering like glass into starry air. Corridor brightens, his steps echo firmer. Inner weight lifts, replaced by crystalline clarity absolute. Voices of ancestors fade, replaced by hum of universe. He walks now as sovereign self. Ahead rises new chamber, walls of floating swords arranged in spirals, ascending infinitely upward. Each sword exudes different intent. Mercy, wrath, stillness, storm, all fragments of cosmic path. He bows slightly, acknowledging ancient wisdom, then raises blade, ready for next celestial exchange. Stars above align, forming single, brilliant eye gazing down, waiting judgment of worthy aspirant. Lightning arcs between swords, linking them into a web of energy across the chamber, vast. Tran Diep steps onto pattern's center, feeling currents swirl, lifting him above ground entirely. Sword spirits reform, this time blended with starlight, shapes harder, faster, wielding cosmic rhythm stronger. He channels dual runes Kim and Tam, weaving them into shield of pure intent. Clash erupts, thunderous collisions echo through void. Sparks rain like meteor showers across infinite sky. Each exchange deepens his comprehension. Each wound endured transforms into luminous mark upon skin. Slowly he learns secret flows, predicting attacks before forming, stepping aside like breeze unseen. Diep Pham blazes silver blue, cutting arcs of radiant power, slicing sword spirits into vanishing motes. Chamber shakes, spiral of swords collapsing inward, releasing torrent of pure starlight around core. He floats, arms wide, absorbing essence, merging consciousness with boundless ocean of celestial sword law. When light fades, only silence remains, broken by steady heartbeat echoing louder than thunder. A third rune flickers faintly within tree far away, promising next stage beyond mortal grasp. Tran Diep lands gently, aura brighter than before, eyes reflecting constellations, voice steady yet soft. This path cannot be abandoned, he murmurs, sensing distance between him and former self widening. Corridor opens behind, path forward glows ahead. Choice no longer exists, destiny calls stronger. He kneels briefly, honoring those who came before, then rises with unshakable purpose forged anew. The cosmic wind shifts, carrying scent of stardust, like blossoms blooming in infinite night. He steps beyond chamber, each movement echoing harmony with unseen cosmic rhythm flowing through veins. In distance flicker new guardians, shapes of pure darkness cloaked in stars, waiting in silence. Yet fear no longer grips him. His sword heart radiates light piercing even deepest void. Tran Diep's silhouette becomes beacon, leading unseen paths, symbolizing mortal, rising beyond heavenly constraints, eternal. Voices of past mentors whisper blessings, weaving around him like protective threads of fate. Gateway of deeper realm opens slowly, runes shifting into constellation map guiding his destined course. He inhales, exhaling luminous breath, stepping firmly into Gateway's heart, without backward glance or hesitation. Behind him stars fold, sealing trial complete. Ahead lies uncharted mysteries, tests of soul. Diep Pham rests yet vibrates softly, eager to taste next horizon beyond known galaxies. Tran Diep senses resonance between his pulse and universe's pulse, achieving rare unity unseen before. He whispers final vow. No power shall sway me. No darkness shall break my path. Lights engulf him, merging flesh and spirit with corridors' starry brilliance, birthing new chapter ahead. Thus he passes first true stage of Forbidden Star Realm, stepping toward unknown celestial destiny. Tran Diep steps into the shimmering gateway, feeling space twist and time stretching infinitely around him. Darkness surrounds, only star-like particles floating, guiding him toward unseen pathways crossing mysterious void. Energy currents surge through his veins, testing his endurance, sharpening senses beyond mortal perception's limit. He recognizes the legendary Void Divine Path, known for trials of soul and sword. Countless silver bridges appear, each leading to unknown realms with hidden tests of destiny. Some bridges burn with flames, others echo icy winds. All radiate ancient powerful energy. He studies cryptic runes carved on bridges, deciphering faint meanings from forgotten eras. Closing eyes, he lets sword aura guide him toward the bridge shaped like blade. The bridge hums beneath his feet, shimmering like condensed swordlight crossing eternity. Every step cuts his aura, pain forging deeper resolve, sharpening heart like steel. Midway, a white-robed swordsman manifests, holding sunbright blade, aura pressing like mountains. Voice echoes. You mastered heart and sword. Show me your blade's soul now. Without speaking, Tran Diep draws, Diep Pham, blue light rising like ocean tide. The opponent slashes once, splitting space into shards, testing his defense and spirit. He counters using thousand phantom blades, creating illusions, swirling like storm clouds. Shock waves blast outward, bridge trembling, energy fragments falling like cosmic rain. White swordsman accelerates, weaving strikes like meteors, impossible to predict or block. Tran Diep sinks into no-mind state, letting sword guide movements without hesitation. He channels heart energy into blade, rhythm matching heartbeat, forging unique strike. The swordsman falters briefly, opening gap for decisive counterattack from Diep. A brilliant clash shatters illusory opponent's blade, echoing like celestial thunder. Voice fades. You have awakened sword soul. Proceed further with honor. Bridge dissolves into countless light threads merging with Diep Pham's glowing edge. Third rune soul engraves upon his inner realm, pulsing with newfound strength. Ahead, a grand crystal corridor emerges, lined with statues of ancient swordmasters. Their eyes seem alive, whispering forgotten incantations and truths of swordpath. He walks deeper, sensing cosmic tides echoing through each carved figure. At corridor's end floats the fabled first thought orb, shimmering with destiny. Legend claims it holds the one thought sword art, severing space itself. Yet a shadowy barrier forms, known as Phantom Maze of Inner Demons. Stepping inside, he finds himself back at his old academy courtyard. Teachers and friends appear smiling before turning into horrific death visions. Screams echo, blaming him, shaking his heart with guilt and sorrow. He whispers, "This is illusion," slicing scene with single unwavering strike. Images shatter like glass, revealing darker vision ahead, future self on throne. Eyes crimson, drenched in blood, future self mocks, "You'll become monster." Diep raises sword calmly, "I choose my path. No one controls me." One cut erases nightmare, dissolving phantom of tyrant self into mist. Each illusion broken lightens his spirit, sword singing clearer each time. Maze weakens, threads of falsehood unraveling around his steady aura. Visions swirl again, showing endless battlefields, friends fallen beneath his blade. He steadies breath, recalls promise to protect, letting compassion strengthen blade. Swinging downward, he unleashes light that dissolves battlefield and sorrow illusions. Maze trembles, cracks forming like spiderwebs across its shifting sky. He repeats inner mantra, focusing on truth, aligning sword with will. Heart, soul, and sword unite, forging indomitable clarity against chaos. Last illusion appears, offering power if he abandons compassion and trust. He smiles faintly, piercing offer with unyielding strike. Scattering temptations lure. Phantom maze collapses, revealing clear expanse and first thought orb shining. Blue radiance washes over him, calm yet infinitely vast, like cosmos. Reaching forward, he touches orb, flooded by immense sword knowledge. Countless blades rise within vision, merging into singular cosmic strike. This is one thought sword art, transcending time, space, and limitations. Mind expands, feeling stars, galaxies, and void resonate with Blade's chant. Rune 1 etches inside his core, completing fourfold evolution of power. Sword vibrates with new life, edge like crystallized lightning beyond comprehension. Corridor quakes, statues bowing as energy crowns his awakened spirit. He feels stronger but senses deeper dangers awaiting below unknown depths. Ahead, a descending stairway appears carved from pure void essence. He steels himself, knowing next stage will test limits beyond imagination. Glancing back at dissolved maze, he thanks silent mentors of path. Determination hardens like diamond, purpose burning clearer than celestial fires. Each step echoes promise. Protect allies, honor Blade, surpass heaven's chains. Stars flicker above corridor, forming dragon shape circling his sword. Dragon's roar fuses with Blade, symbolizing destiny chosen without regret. Footfalls resonate like drumbeats of universe welcoming ascendant swordsman. He whispers, "For my friends, for my vow, I continue." Sword hums agreement, edge glowing deeper blue, veins of silver light. Breathing steady, he crosses threshold into descending portal of unknown. Void winds surround him, tearing, yet purifying, forging indestructible resolve. Images of past masters flicker, offering silent nods of recognition. He bows slightly, honoring tradition yet forging his own path. Lightning arcs across void, merging with his inner sea of energy. Heartbeat aligns with cosmic pulse, transforming movement into flowing dance. He recalls first sword lesson, humble beginning, shaping relentless climb. Portal narrows, forcing him to compress aura into singular focus. Each inhalation draws stellar dust, each exhalation sharpens Blade's intent. In darkness, he visualizes coming battles, strategies unfolding like constellations. He swears to carve path through enemies and destiny alike. Portals end glimmers, heralding arrival to next trial's entrance. Feeling orb's residual power, he tests a new one-thought strike. A single swing parts void, leaving endless afterimages dissolving into sparks. He marvels at technique's efficiency, merging heart, soul, and world. Voice of old swordsman echoes faintly, blessing this transformation's completion. He senses subtle shift. Enemies far ahead feel his rising aura. Whispering currents speak of ancient gatekeepers waiting below path. Sword trembles, eager for coming confrontation, vibrating like living creature. He calms Blade with gentle touch, reaffirming unity and discipline. Portal expands, spilling radiant light that dissolves lingering shadows. Beyond threshold lies unknown domain, echoing deeper than cosmic abyss. He steps forward, silhouette merging with starlight streaming from doorway. Past trials fade but lessons remain carved into his spirit. Future trials loom, promising battles beyond comprehension, forging ultimate swordsman. Yet hope burns steady, guiding him through infinite chaos ahead. Sword's hum becomes hymn of freedom, echoing across dimensions. He whispers last vow. Until the end, I will hold my blade. Portal seals behind, severing ties with previous stage completely. Stars align overhead, forming path like shimmering ladder of fate. Tran Diep walks upward and downward simultaneously, transcending mortal directions. Chapter closes with him vanishing into light, stepping toward next celestial challenge. Tran Diep steps into the shimmering gate, entering the boundless illusion of the celestial void realm. Clouds swirl like gray dragons while cracks of time flash, splitting the endless horizon apart. Floating rings of radiant symbols spin slowly, casting unpredictable shadows upon the broken air. His sword Thanfang hums softly, reacting to unseen energies pervading the mysterious space. Every breath feels sharp as ice needles, piercing his chest yet strangely calming his mind. No ground under his feet, only endless light and drifting fragments of forgotten worlds. Diep notices faint echoes of friends flicker, but each dissolves quickly like morning mist. A deep voice vibrates through eternity, speaking of trials and inner reflection beyond illusions. All you see reflects your heart. Lose yourself and remain trapped forever, the voice warns. Diep extends spiritual sense outward, touching hidden pulses like a giant heartbeat below. Waves of cosmic breath rise and fall, shaking fragments of shattered starlight around him. Across a light bridge stands a colossal gate carved with living, shifting celestial characters, but another figure already waits upon the bridge, identical to Diep in every detail. The copy's sword glows black-violet, its aura cold and merciless, opposite Thanfang's shine. Diep asks calmly, "Who are you?" Though he knows the truth within his soul. "I am you," the phantom says, voice metallic and hollow, eyes devoid of mercy. "I am your hunger, doubt, ambition, the part you deny, it proclaims with fury. Kill me or be destroyed. Only one may pass this bridge alive, it demands. Before words end, the dark twin lunges, sword cutting reality like paper splitting. Diep leaps high, releasing blue petals of sword light to intercept the incoming strike. Collision shatters the bridge's glow. Countless fragments of light spin like crystal rain. Fighting oneself proves harder than facing enemies. Each move perfectly predicts his next. The dark twin mirrors his stances, weaving lethal spirals matching his own instincts. Diep summons no thought, sword mind, emptying emotion, leaving pure movement like flowing water. In this stillness, he dodges thrice, then counters with one thought, one sword silently. A gap opens in the phantom's guard, yet it splits into 1,000 copies. Each copy shows another emotion. Rage, pride, fear, despair, greed, betrayal, longing, sorrow. They attack simultaneously, their blades weaving an inescapable cage of black-violet light. Diep shuts eyes, feels heartbeat, anchors to the only real point in illusion. His sword aura bursts outward, sweeping away shadows, leaving a single true opponent. You cannot kill me with your sword. I am your heart, it says. Diep lowers blade, breath steady, and replies, I accept you, shadow and all. The phantom pauses, then dissolves into countless motes of light, merging into his chest. Warm current floods his meridians, making his soul whole beyond any past wound. The bridge stabilizes, growing brighter, leading toward the massive gate covered with ancient symbols. Each step reveals memories carved in stone. First sword, first vow, first failure, first love. The gate's glyphs rearrange into one question. For what purpose do you wield sword? Through silent thought, he answers, to protect and to be free. No hesitation inside. The gate trembles, then opens, unveiling a colossal hall filled with suspended swords. Ceiling stretches like night sky, countless blades hanging point down forming an endless iron forest. In the hall's center stands a stone altar holding a white-silver sword of legend. Its hilt embedded with blue gems, blade radiant yet utterly silent, awaiting worthy hands. Diep steps closer, sensing an ocean of ancient will pressing from every direction. He touches the hilt lightly. The hall shudders, swords clanging like awakened spirits. A masked guardian appears from swirling mist, cloaked in gray, voice like storm thunder. To claim celestial void sword, prove your unshakable unity of sword and soul, it declares. Diep releases Thanfang into the air, its glow extending throughout the Hall of Blades. Each sword trembles, testing his essence, prying for weakness hidden beneath his calm surface. He does not resist, only allows his intent to flow like river across stars. Slowly, the white-silver sword quivers, sending a thread of luminous energy into his palm. The thread becomes a flood coursing through meridians, weaving with Thanfang's blue light. Two colors spiral together, neither dominating, forming a newborn energy deeper than before. The guardian nods slightly, dissolving like mist. The hall brightens with dawn's radiance. Suspended swords lower their tips, saluting him, recognizing a new master of true unity. Celestial void sword rises, circles him 3 times, merging fully with Thanfang's essence. Now a single blade remains, longer, patterned with shifting waves of blue and white. Its presence expands beyond metal, touching every particle of surrounding space as his own. Diep feels border between self and sword vanish, awareness extending outward without limit. This is the long-sought state. Whispered by masters. Sword and self as one. The hall resonates with a clear tone, like stars singing in frozen silence. The floor beneath dissolves into a luminous path toward the tower's deeper heart. Red glow pulses ahead, promising another challenge, sharper and deadlier than before. Diep takes one last glance back at the hall of countless swords behind him. Memories of struggle, fear, choices converge, shaping unbreakable resolve inside his spirit. He grips the new sword, steady eyes fixed forward on the crimson-lit corridor. The gate behind closes, sealing the celestial void realm as echo fades away. Around him time bends differently, minutes stretch like hours, yet his focus stays pure. He recalls the phantom self, realizing darkness embraced can turn into strength within. Step by step, his aura sharpens, each stride a silent promise to destiny. Stars flicker overhead, then vanish, replaced by a swirling tunnel of ancient runes. Air tastes metallic like thunderclouds. Pressure rises, compressing lungs and thoughts alike. Yet his heart beats steady, guided by merged power of dual swords now united. Visions flash. Mountain training, friends' faces, endless nights forging his blade soul alone. He smiles faintly, knowing each hardship carved the path now unfolding before his feet. The luminous path becomes a bridge of runes, stretching toward a vast crimson door. The door pulses like a living heart, sealed by chains of golden fire. Sword aura lifts from his body, carving invisible sigils around him, readying for entry. Beneath feet, illusions ripple but cannot break his now whole consciousness forged through trial. A whisper in void. Few reach here. Fewer still survive what waits beyond. He answers silently. My path chosen. No retreat remains, eyes shining like tempered steel. Hands relax upon hilt, sensing universal rhythm, each vibration matching his heartbeat exactly. Blades of thought scatter, coalescing into clarity sharper than any forged steel known. He remembers vow to protect, not dominate, even wielding this limitless new power. Energy flows through him like twin rivers joining at ocean, unstoppable yet serene. The crimson door's chains crack slightly, reacting to his unwavering, balanced intent inside. He breathes deeply, drawing cosmic essence, stabilizing merged sword spirit with his own. Around him, silence forms a cocoon, only pulse of the tower remains. Footsteps echo, steady and deliberate, crossing last span of the luminous bridge. Each step shakes off remnants of old fears, leaving only forged certainty behind. He lowers eyelids, visualizing door opening, not as conquest but as natural progression. The merged sword glows brighter, channels both heaven and void into one steady flame. Sparks leap from blade tip, forming protective halo wrapping his entire body softly. Ahead, crimson door trembles more violently, runes spinning faster in a golden spiral. He senses presence beyond. An entity older than stars, testing worthy challengers eternally. His grip tightens slightly, then relaxes, remembering acceptance conquered his shadow self before. Smile returns to lips. Fear transforms to anticipation of yet another self-discovery. Energy converges at feet, propelling him upward, stance aligned with cosmic axis perfectly. Next trial awaits, he whispers, words disappearing into infinite darkness swallowing sound instantly. The crimson door bursts open slowly, revealing vortex of molten light inside. Diep steps forward without hesitation, sword and soul united, walking into the unknown beyond. Tran Diep steps through the blazing crimson door, entering the searing inferno of the fire abyss. Heat strikes like a tidal wave, melting thoughts and searing lungs with unrelenting scorching winds. Molten rivers churn below, casting sparks upward like fiery dragons dancing beneath a crimson sky. Air thick with sulfur and ash weighs heavily, turning each breath into molten glass shards. The merged sword glows faintly blue-white, trembling under intense pressure of flaming reality surrounding him. His feet find a lone black rock island, suspended amid torrents of molten rivers. Across the horizon, jagged pillars of fire spiral, splitting sky like claws of titans. Another trial, he mutters, feeling unstable energy swirl inside, a storm seeking balance. A rumble shakes the molten plain, heralding the rise of the fire serpent beast. Its scaled body glows with molten veins, eyes blazing emerald flames of ancient fury. With one swing of its massive tail, rocks shatter, lava surges, firestorms explode outward. Tran Diep leaps sideways, feeling heat lick his boots, sword trembling with resonant anticipation. He counters with a slash of blue-white light, cutting through an arc of flame. Clash sends shockwaves, lava plumes rising high, forming curtains of molten sparks around them. He realizes brute force cannot defeat creature reflecting his own turbulent inner fire. Calming his breath, he remembers integration of shadow before, searching for rhythm in chaos. The beast lunges again, flames twisting into serpentine spears aimed at his unguarded chest. He pivots, draws a circle with blade, redirecting flames downward into molten river. Flame merges with sword, forging first hint of fire flow sword technique inside him. A new current emerges, using enemy's force to weave a larger, unified power. Sword arcs, glowing red and blue swirl, harmonizing heat and steel into one stream. The beast screeches, momentarily stunned by unexpected inversion of its own raging element. Tran Diep seizes opening, stepping inside Serpent's guard, blade poised at glowing heart. He pierces not to destroy but to unlock hidden core binding beasts, wrath, fire, shudders, scales, crack, revealing heartfire, true gem pulsing at creature's center. The beast bows its head before dissolving into ash, leaving the gem hovering midair. Tran Diep catches gem gently. Searing power floods his veins like molten rivers. Merged sword vibrates, absorbing heat, transforming patterns across blade into glowing ember sigils. Flames now caress, rather than burn, becoming an extension of his will and breath. He names new force within. Fire Spirit's sword intent, uniting calm and eruption, steps toward the ascending black stone stair, crossing columns of fire roaring like beasts. Each step stabilizes his internal energy, forging sword and soul into deeper synchronization. Suddenly, a white-haired girl appears ahead, wearing crimson silk shimmering like living flame. Her eyes mirror starlight and sorrow, voice silent yet beckoning with soft raised hand. Recognition strikes, Diep Pham's image, or illusion, born of longing and buried desire. Heat presses inward, testing not only his strength, but also emotional tether and heart's core. Illusion, he whispers, resisting pull of desire, focusing on balanced fire within blade. Yet emotions surge, memories of shared laughter, battles, promises flicker like sparks around them. He steadies breath, recalling lesson. Embracing shadow allowed transcendence, so must embrace fire. Taking step closer, he speaks calmly. True or false, I will protect regardless. Sword glows, fire aura spiraling upward like twin dragons, surrounding phantom figure in light. Illusion smiles softly, dissolving into countless red sparks, rising toward the abyssal sky. Space quakes, heat fades. Stairway before him now crystallizes, glowing like cooled obsidian glass. Tran Diep ascends steadily, new harmony in heart and blade guiding every measured stride. Fire Spirit's sword intent flows outward, shaping protective halo warding remaining ember storms. Black stairs stretch across an ocean of dying flames, pillars crumbling into shimmering ash. His merged sword hums gently, whispering of trials past and paths yet unwritten ahead. At summit stands a massive gate engraved with symbols unknown yet oddly familiar. Before gate, a colossal sword statue pierces ground, inscriptions glowing like sleeping constellations. Tran Diep halts, reading runes instinctively, feeling ancient weight of countless warriors before him. Flames recede behind, leaving calm warmth. Test of fire complete, yet essence now transformed. Heartfire true gem fuses with his Xianxia, igniting a new circulating cycle of power. He senses deeper vitality, strength to endure storms of soul and battle alike. Fire within sword now burns with controlled precision, no longer chaotic or consuming. He kneels briefly, acknowledging guardian beast's gift and lesson of transformation through acceptance. Sky above shifts from crimson blaze to shimmering aurora of orange and gold. With each breath, ash clears, revealing stars beyond the molten veil like new hope. He touches blade's flat surface. Reflections show both his shadow and his flame. Balanced forces unite, forging a new identity beyond mere mortal or cultivator labels. A soft wind blows, carrying scents of cooling stone and rebirth after destruction. He rises, eyes narrowing upon mysterious gate, feeling pulse of next trial beckoning. Fingers tighten on hilt, not with tension but readiness honed through tempered resolve. This journey no longer about survival only, but realization of purpose carved through struggle. Memories of earlier battles flicker, each now a stepping stone to this moment. He senses behind gate lies the sea of blood endless, legendary proving ground. Fire aura around him fades, leaving steady blue-white flame at sword's core. The gate's symbols shift, reading his heart like mirror of will and destiny. He whispers, oath once sworn, to protect and be free, echoing through blazing hall. Chains of ember light across gate tremble, reacting to sincerity embedded in his voice. Stone beneath feet vibrates, sending resonance through sword and soul like one heartbeat. He exhales slowly, merging breath with world, dissolving barrier between inner and outer fire. Sword aura rises, curling upward like a phoenix shedding ash to reveal radiant feathers. Sparks trace wings in air, forming patterns of his journey thus far, ever upward. His pulse syncs with distant thunder, forging alignment with unseen cosmic rhythm beyond flame. Step by step, he approaches statue, reaching hand to its hilt embedded in ground. Contact triggers echo of ancient voices chanting, unity of fire, shadow, and sword. Energy streams from statue into him, testing stability of newfound fire spirit's sword intent. He withstands surge, anchoring heart at center, letting power flow without resistance. Statue dims, gate brightens, corridor of molten gold, forming path toward unknown. He glances once back, seeing fire abyss shrink like a fading memory behind him. Gratitude swells, for every trial carved edges of doubt away, revealing core unshakable. New horizon, ahead calls, promising deeper truths than any teacher ever offered before. Sword hums low, like distant drum of fate, guiding step into next challenge. He breathes name of merged blade softly, sealing bond forged in trial of flame. His aura steadies like calm volcano, whose core still holds immeasurable power within. He senses Diep Pham somewhere ahead, perhaps waiting beyond next trial or only memory. Yet longing no longer clouds his intent. It fuels clarity of chosen path. He raises chin, eyes glinting like tempered steel, reflecting cosmic fires above. A single step echoes, sounding like hammer forging destiny upon anvil of stars. Gate looms larger, symbols spinning slowly, aligning into pattern shaped like a sword. At center of pattern, faint heartbeat echoes, resonating with his own pulse precisely. He inhales, drawing lest warmth of fire abyss, exhaling transformed essence of unity. Blade lifts naturally, point toward sky, channeling both heaven's cool and abyss's flame. Chains fall apart quietly, like petals of light drifting away into silent void. Gates, surface ripples, becoming translucent, revealing swirling ocean of blood-colored mist beyond. Tran Diep stands still, anchoring spirit, preparing to enter domain of endless crimson tides. Merged sword tilts forward, eager, vibrating faintly with anticipation of next great ordeal. Sea of blood endless, he whispers, feeling weight of legend become imminent reality. Taking final step off black stone stair, he touches shimmering threshold without hesitation. Light engulfs him, fire abyss vanishes, and he strides into the next realm beyond. Diep Pham descends into a crimson mist, landing upon black sand above the endless blood sea. The metallic scent strikes his senses, heavy and suffocating, filling his lungs with dread. Waves of thick scarlet surge like mountains, crashing against shattered stones under dim purple lightning. Bones float in tides, glimmering pale white like stars lost within this cursed ocean realm. Overhead, distorted thunder echoes, shaping cosmic chasms in the darkened sky beyond comprehension. Diep Pham steadies himself, gripping his sword as luminous energy trembles beneath its blade. Whispering runes glow underfoot, ancient markings bleeding light into his trembling shadow. Endless blood sea, he mutters, voice low, eyes narrowing with calm yet cautious focus. The sword emits a soft green-white glow, sensing hidden threats within shifting crimson fog. Cold air pierces his bones, chilling marrow like frost beneath winter's sharpest winds. From the depths arise hundreds of spectral warriors, eyes burning red, weapons corroded, they howl forgotten chants, charging forth with fury older than mortal lifetimes themselves. Diep Pham exhales slowly, merging fire spirit and shadow flow into one swirling shield. Specters collide with his barrier, dissolving into sparks but endlessly reforming in waves. More and more emerge, countless as raindrops, turning the sea into living nightmare. He realizes brute force cannot defeat infinite resentment echoing across the bloody tide. Dropping to his knees, he plants sword upright, channeling his mind inward, eyes shut. Waves strike his legs, carrying ancient cries, broken vows, and lost memories alike. Images flood his consciousness, wars unending, oaths betrayed, dreams drowned in crimson despair. His fear dissolves, replaced by deep empathy toward these bound souls screaming silently. He slices his palm, blood dripping onto sword, merging essence with endless sea. Droplets glow azure, spreading across waters like distant constellations. Calming furious waves. Ghostly warriors falter, their rage softening under Diep Pham's newfound aura of compassion. I free you, not destroy you, he whispers, voice echoing like temple bells. The sword's glow expands, weaving luminous sigils forming a colossal sealing array. Crimson tide recedes slightly, revealing a pathway carved of shimmering light. His sword evolves no longer just fire and shadow, but Bloodwater's gentle lethal flow. This new intent combines softness and power, striking balance between destruction and mercy. With each step forward, blood waves part, revealing stairways beneath scarlet storms. He sees at horizon's center, a massive vortex rising, dark at its heart. The sea's heart, he murmurs, recognizing source of endless anguish poisoning this domain. Towering above vortex stands a monstrous six-armed figure crowned with bone and hate. Each arm wields a weapon spear, sword, axe, mace, bow, and spiked chain. Its eyes blacker than void glare at him, promising annihilation without remorse. Voice roars like collapsing stars. No peace awaits you here, intruder. Waves explode upward, encasing battlefield within a crimson hurricane of death. Diep Pham summons all three sword intents, forging tricolored aura around him. Fire spirit blazes, shadow flow twists, blood water glimmers soft yet deadly. He forms a dragon of swirling light, launching directly at monstrous foe. Clash of forces shatters air, ripping cracks into fabric of spacetime. Maelstrom's roar deafens, yet his resolve cuts through chaos like tempered steel. Creature swings 6 weapons simultaneously, each blow birthing shockwaves leveling ghostly armies. Diep Pham parries, blades clanging, sparks raining over ocean's bleeding surface. The vortex darkens further, pulling sky and sea into spiraling doom. He focuses, recalling teachings of patience, unity, and balance from earlier trials. 3 sword intents merge tighter, spinning faster, forming singular transcendent edge. Creature unleashes mountain-sized punch, intending to obliterate intruder in one strike. Diep Pham answers with heaven-earth-blood unification / his ultimate strike yet. A luminous gate of light slices vortex apart, splitting monster's massive blow. Shockwaves erupt, sending waves hundreds of meters high crashing into distant void. The beast screams, ichor spraying, dissolving into luminous crimson droplets. You have seen ultimate resentment, it groans, now bear ultimate life. Darkness unwinds, monster disperses into swirling ashes, rising toward distant heavens. With its death, vortex collapses inward, vacuum sucking away ancient curses. Blood, sea slowly clears, turning first pink, then serene blue. Storm clouds vanish, revealing pure white radiance spreading across sky. Ghostly warriors bow once, fading into motes of light ascending upward. Diep Pham stands alone on tranquil waters, sword glowing with 3 merged intents. Fire, shadow, blood water, united as triple intent sword, surpassing mortal limitation. He tests blade, its edge slicing space itself like soft fabric. From center of lake emerges staircase carved of pristine white jade. Steps lead toward colossal golden gate, etched with cosmic sword engravings. Sun, moon, and sea symbols, circle blade carving, promising celestial passage. 8 ancient characters glow. One who surpasses 3 hells enters heavenly realm. Breeze carries floral scent, erasing centuries of blood-soaked despair from his lungs. Diep Pham sheaths sword, heart steady, gaze firm toward gate, shimmering above. Behind him, the once deadly ocean now mirrors sky like a calm dream. Around him, silence holds, only whisper of wind through eternal stillness remains. His reflection in blue water shows no fear, only clarity, strength, and resolve. He ascends first step, feeling surge of heavenly ki flow through veins. Each step rings like temple bell, echoing ancient cultivation chants across realms. Sword hums in harmony, resonating with gateway's vast cosmic energy. He senses new trials ahead, no longer punishment, but challenge of divine order. Memories of AIA, Ingak, and Bloodsea flash, each forging part of him. He tightens grip on sword hilt, promising never to falter in journey. Light grows brighter, cascading downstairs, wrapping him in protective glow. Patterns of dragon and phoenix spiral along golden door, shimmering alive. Energy swirls at threshold, portal between mortal and celestial planes awakening slowly. Voice whispers from beyond. Welcome, seeker of the sword beyond heaven. Diep Pham bows slightly, acknowledging unseen guardians watching his ascent. He senses Liat Hia and allies far behind, their destinies intertwining later. The door creaks open, revealing vast expanse of luminous sky beyond. Heavenly wind rushes forth, caressing his face with gentle warmth. Fragrance of immortal flowers fills air, intoxicating yet serene. His heart beats faster, mixture of anticipation and unshakable determination burning. Sword vibrates, its glow shifting into hue never before seen. With last glance back, he honors fallen souls transformed into stars above. I carry your hopes forward, he whispers softly, stepping higher. Steps dissolve behind him, leaving only bright path ahead. Sky turns golden, streaked with white flames of celestial essence. Shapes of guardian spirits appear faintly, guiding his entry to higher realm. Each breath draws purer ki, strengthening marrow, nerves, and soul. Beyond gate, he glimpses floating palaces, immortal trees, and shining rivers. His destiny feels closer, yet infinitely more distant, calling him to transcend. Fingers tighten once more around sword's hilt, preparing for unknown battles. Light engulfs his form, erasing traces of mortal world from aura. Behind, Bloodsea now fully restored to sacred lake of forgotten legends. Ahead, heavenly realm awaits, shimmering with promise of trials and revelations. He steps through golden threshold, silhouette merging with radiant expanse. Thus ends Blood Seas, Tran Diep Pham, rises reborn, entering new saga beyond heavens. If you find it interesting, remember to like and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications, so you won't miss the next episodes. DP steps onto the final stair, feeling endless power flowing beneath each shining step now. His sword vibrates softly, echoing the universe's resonance, signaling the beginning of something far greater. Before him rises a golden gate, towering skyward, carved with runes older than mortal time. Glowing symbols awaken, spinning slowly, testing the purity of his heart with silent divine questions. A telepathic voice asks if his soul remains unstained after countless bloody battles and trials. He answers with calm determination, declaring his search for truth and ultimate sword enlightenment. The gate trembles, releasing thousands of radiant streams, forming a path of blinding light. DP steps forward, enveloped by energy that cleanses his wounds and strengthens his spirit. Crossing through the gate feels like passing from mortal dreams into boundless cosmic reality. Pressure crushes down upon him like mountains, testing his resolve and body simultaneously. A refreshing celestial wind surges through him, restoring vitality beyond anything previously known. He sees floating palaces suspended above skies, shimmering with countless flowing rivers of stars. This realm is the outer court of heaven, gateway to eternal power and infinite wisdom. A long white bridge of clouds stretches toward a massive crystal palace gleaming brightly. Statues of ancient guardians flank the bridge, each taller than mountains, weapons drawn silently. Suddenly, one statue moves, eyes igniting with blue flames of divine authority and challenge. It declares DP must prove himself worthy to cross and enter the heavenly court. Other statues awaken, transforming into colossal guardians wielding spears, swords, and mighty hammers. A chilling aura sweeps across the bridge, shaking even its shimmering ethereal foundations. DP steadies his breath, summoning his triple sword intent, forming a protective field. Guardians march forward, footsteps echoing thunder, shaking clouds and resonating across infinite skies. He waits patiently, knowing striking prematurely would break the sword path he mastered. As they approach, he unleashes a sweeping arc of transparent sword energy, shimmering pure. The blade's essence nullifies attacks, dissolving aggression without destruction, a true path shown. One by one the guardians freeze, eyes softening, dissolving into starry motes fading away. The bridge calms, resonating softly, as a crystalline door opens at its distant end. DP walks forward, feeling the sacred rhythm of heaven under each silent step. Entering the hall, he sees a vast plaza, paved with azure jade glowing softly. At the center rises a circular dais, luminous with mysterious runes, shifting like waves. Upon the dais sits an old man, robed in white, holding an ancient sword calmly. The old man's eyes remain closed, yet his aura blankets the plaza like quiet oceans. Opening his eyes, he gazes into Diep's heart, seeing past layers of illusion. "You have reached this point," he says, "but heaven accepts only the truly pure." Raising his sword lightly, he releases an aura so refined it stills all motion. DP bows respectfully, recognizing a teacher rather than an enemy in this being. "Please instruct me," he says, voice steady but filled with reverence and anticipation. The old man smiles faintly, drawing a single line through air with sacred precision. A beam of sword light rushes forward, heavier than mountains yet softer than feathers. DP channels everything, blocking the strike, feeling his soul polished and purified. Each clash teaches him, revealing hidden truths, erasing doubts accumulated across countless battles. His sword trembles with excitement, merging its resonance with the celestial blade before him. He realizes heaven's sword path is not domination but harmonizing with universal truth. The old man intensifies the test, his strikes becoming faster, sharper, yet still instructive. DP's stance grows steadier, movements becoming more fluid, reflecting his inner transformation. A sudden vision floods him, memories of his entire journey condensed into one sword stroke. He cuts through illusions, discovering his heart's true desire and ultimate sword purpose. The celestial plaza vibrates, acknowledging his progress, runes around the dais glowing brighter. His sword intent refines into a single line of clarity, shining like a newborn star. The old man lowers his weapon, eyes warming with approval and faint paternal pride. "You are ready," he says softly, voice carrying infinite distance, yet intimate as whisper. The surrounding space shifts, opening a luminous corridor toward heaven's inner realm beyond. Celestial winds swirl, carrying scents of unknown blossoms and echoes of distant immortal songs. DP breathes deeply, feeling his body and soul aligned with universal flow completely. He steps onto the corridor of light, each footfall ringing like a chime of destiny. Behind him, the plaza fades into mist, leaving only the path forward brilliantly clear. The corridor stretches endlessly, lined with constellations forming patterns of swords and dragons. Whispered voices of ancient sword sages drift around, encouraging his every determined step forward. He feels the heavenly law pressing, testing his sincerity one final time before admission. In his heart no fear remains, only serene clarity and boundless determination shining steady. His sword glows brighter, symbol of his unity with the path he now embodies. The corridor suddenly expands, revealing a panoramic view of infinite celestial mountains floating. Rivers of golden energy flow between peaks, feeding countless realms hidden within clouds. DP senses the beating heart of heaven itself, resonating with his sword intent. He recalls the promise made to lost souls, to bring justice and understanding beyond. Each step he takes strengthens the bond between his mortal past and immortal future path. His aura radiates outward, forming a protective dome of shimmering swordlight around him. Ahead stands a gateway shaped like a lotus, carved of purest crystalline essence shimmering. The lotus opens slowly, releasing waves of energy that cleanse deeper layers of spirit. Passing through, he feels as if reborn, his consciousness expanding beyond time and matter. Stars ignite above him, arranging into ancient diagrams of sword formations, transcending worlds. He whispers silent gratitude to masters, friends, and adversaries who forged his path. A colossal bell tolls unseen, marking the transition from outer to inner heaven. Divine beasts fly overhead. Phoenix, dragon, Keelan, watching him with curious immortal eyes shining. He knows these are guardians, yet also omens of his accepted passage into heaven. The pathway narrows, forcing him to focus his mind sharper than any previous trial. Celestial flames rise at both sides, but his swordlight shields him from scorching fire. Symbols of balance appear beneath his feet, merging yin and yang into sword truth. He meditates while walking, discovering new layers of insight in each shimmering celestial step. His sword becomes weightless, like a thought, responding instantly to his will without effort. Ahead, the path turns crystalline, reflecting infinite versions of himself across time and space. He confronts his shadow, the self who doubted, and dissolves it with one calm strike. The corridor ends at a staircase of light ascending into clouds beyond mortal sight. With steady breath he climbs, feeling the rhythm of creation pulsing under his feet. Each stair vibrates, singing hymns of swords, heavens, and eternal truth together harmoniously. At the summit stands another door, carved with dragons circling a single sword symbol. He places his hand upon it, feeling warmth like sunlight pouring into his veins. The door opens silently, revealing a horizon filled with radiant immortal cities and skies. A voice unseen proclaims his arrival, echoing through heavens, welcoming a new sword sovereign. Celestial bells chime, showering golden petals as acknowledgement of his completed outer journey. DP smiles faintly, aware that a greater odyssey now begins within heaven's depths. He steps forward, absorbing every detail, knowing each will shape future battles and revelations. The air tastes of ancient wisdom, each breath deepening his connection to cosmic law. Above, a vast library of stars records countless sword paths, ready to be studied. He senses unseen eyes observing him, judging silently, weighing his readiness for next trials. His grip on his sword tightens, not from fear but reverence for upcoming challenges. Beyond the gateway rises an endless plain of light, where destiny and choice intertwine forever. He sets his foot upon the plain, feeling reality bend slightly beneath his determination. In that moment, mortal limitations dissolve, leaving only the essence of pure sword will. He whispers to himself, "The journey never ends." But each step is already fulfillment. With unshakable resolve, DP walks into the deeper heaven, beginning a new chapter. Diep Pham steps into the second heavenly realm, sensing an endless ocean of shimmering sword energy. The sky becomes a sea of stars, with no ground beneath, only glowing pathways ahead. Celestial winds swirl around, carrying fragrances of unknown blossoms and distant immortal songs softly echoing. He feels invisible threads of sword intent weaving through space, guiding him deeper inward. "This is the true entrance of heaven's Tao," he whispers, steadying his breathing slowly. A haunting melody rises, blending flute-like tones with crashing waves of cosmic energy. His heart calms, summoning the Xianxia Sword Sutra, forming a luminous shield of clarity. A shadowy figure emerges ahead, identical to Diep Pham, but darker and colder entirely. The doppelganger's eyes burn with hatred, resentment, and every wound of his mortal past. "I am your sword heart's darkness," it says, voice echoing like distant thunder tonight. Diep Pham grips his sword gently, acknowledging the shadow as part of his true self. "To transcend, I must face you," he murmurs, stepping forward with unshakable calm now. The shadow laughs, unsheathing a blade made of pure blackness, dripping with lethal intent. Sword strikes explode outward, tearing the starry fabric, raining shards of broken constellations. Diep Pham counters with Galaxy 10,000 Zhong, sending rivers of starlight crashing forth. Each clash births a storm of sword auras, shaking even heaven's timeless pathways strongly. The shadow grows stronger, feeding on anger, mirroring Diep Pham's past battles perfectly. He realizes, fighting harder empowers it, his fear and rage fueling its monstrous form. Closing his eyes, he lowers his sword, embracing the truth of acceptance without resistance. "Darkness or light, all are me," he says, letting go of inner conflict fully. The shadow falters, its edges flickering, destabilized by sudden absence of hostility entirely. Yet it lunges desperately, launching a final slash heavier than all mountains combined. Diep Pham draws his blade once more, no hatred, only pure understanding, flowing through. The strike passes through the shadow gently, dissolving it like mist under morning sun. Darkness merges with his body, transforming into a steady glow deep within his soul. The heavens tremble, countless sword patterns ignite, forming a halo of sacred resonance above. He achieves the realm of annihilating sword heart, free of attachment, yet fully alive. Celestial bells chime softly, acknowledging his victory and purification of the deepest sword core. Energy floods his meridians, breaking old seals, refining essence to radiant purity everywhere. His aura becomes both soft and sharp, like water and steel, harmonizing perfectly together. Ahead, towering columns of light rise, etched with primordial runes of ancient sword truths. Each rune radiates knowledge, promising endless pathways to refine and elevate his techniques. Ethereal figures appear, former sword immortals, guardians of the inner gate testing new entrants. Diep Pham bows slightly, feeling no pride, only gratitude for the lessons before him. "My sword path is no longer vengeance," he thinks, "it's a search for boundless truth." His sword slides into its scabbard, humming softly with newfound, tranquil energy inside. The sky splits, revealing a radiant stairway ascending to the heavenly sword platform. With steady breath, he steps forward, feeling unity of past and present guiding his way. A current of yin and yang surges within him, perfectly balanced, endlessly rotating, strong. He glances back once, seeing his former shadow entirely gone, dissolved into pure light. Cosmic winds swirl tighter, wrapping him like a cocoon, carrying him upward in spirals. Stars realign above, forming diagrams of infinite sword formations swirling with power. Whispered chants of ancient sages echo, praising his clarity and courage silently tonight. His feet touch the first step, glowing symbols bloom beneath like lotus petals bright. Each step sings a chord of creation, vibrating through marrow and mind simultaneously now. He senses countless observers, unseen, evaluating his composure and new forged destiny path. Drawing on deep breath, he centers his heart, entering meditation while still walking forward. Sword intent within him evolves into boundless stream, cutting illusion but nurturing harmony deeply. Rivers of celestial fire rise at both sides, yet his aura shields him serenely. Symbols of balance appear underfoot, merging duality into one singular blade, truth glowing. His mind clears completely, seeing past victories and losses as mere waves on ocean. In this calm, his sword feels weightless, moving like thought across infinite horizons is a key. Ahead, a crystal door glows, carved with dragons circling a single sword-shaped sun. He touches the door gently, feeling warmth like sunlight filling his veins suddenly. The door dissolves, revealing a boundless chamber lined with books of celestial sword arts. Each book hums with living energy, containing secrets of universes and timeless cultivation paths. Diep Pham kneels, offering silent thanks, knowing this is both gift and responsibility. He senses faint presences, ghostly teachers guiding his perception of each sacred diagram clearly. A subtle shift occurs, merging his mortal memories with immortal wisdom seamlessly now. He sees a future where sword path equals understanding of cosmos itself, no boundaries. His breathing deepens, aura softens, heart beats in rhythm with celestial currents swirling. Whispered phrases from lost masters fill his mind, urging him toward higher comprehension. He accepts without clinging, letting insights pass through like wind through mountain pine trees. A bright glow surrounds his Xianxia, condensing into a miniature galaxy spinning calmly. His sword spirit sings, radiating compassion and power combined like never before inside. He stands, eyes glowing with starlight, ready to face further realms of heaven itself. The stairway extends upward endlessly, each step holding different trial or vision ahead. He moves slowly but firmly, integrating each lesson into marrow and spirit simultaneously now. Celestial beasts appear at edges, observing silently, wings folded, eyes like molten suns. Their presence reassures him. Guardians accept his progress without blocking his chosen path. Above, the heavenly sword platform shimmers like a diamond mountain crowned with flowing waterfalls. The waterfalls aren't water but liquid sword energy cascading into bottomless luminous pools. Every drop resonates with a distinct note of sword truth, endless symphony of blades. Diep Pham listens, internalizing subtle differences, aligning his heartbeat to their rhythm exactly. His body glows faintly, resonating, becoming attuned to heavenly music surrounding him here. Stepping forward, he feels no boundary between self and cosmos, only oneness expanding vast. The path narrows into a beam of light requiring total focus to maintain balance. He centers his mind, breathing in cosmic energy, exhaling mortal limits completely tonight. The beam becomes a bridge of crystal, leading straight to the platform's shimmering core. He walks steadily, his sword resting in his palm like a gentle companion always. Past visions of friends and foes flash before him, but cause no ripple inside. He blesses each silently, acknowledging their role forging his current strength and wisdom. The platform draws near, radiating waves of pressure, both testing and uplifting simultaneously. He straightens his back, embodying calm and courage, eyes fixed on approaching golden threshold. Swords made of light hover above, rotating slowly, emanating endless variations of technique. He realizes this is the library of sword destiny, open only to balanced hearts. Stepping onto the platform, his feet ignite runes that spiral outward like galaxies. Energy floods upward through him, purifying cells, mind, and spirit beyond mortal measure. Celestial bells ring, petals of luminous lotus falling gently from invisible heights above. He understands. This is recognition from heaven of his passage through the second trial. Now begins the forging of a true heaven sword cultivator, merging path and self fully. He sits cross-legged in the center, sword laid across knees, absorbing new insights deeply. The platform vibrates, revealing visions of future duels, allies, and cosmic upheavals ahead. Yet he feels no fear, only readiness, curiosity, and steady flame of determination burning. His aura expands outward, touching distant stars, forming invisible threads of connection, unbreakable. The entire heavenly realm acknowledges him as a new force within its vast order. Diep Pham whispers, sword without hatred, heart without chains, path without end, truth within. Light enfolds him completely, merging his essence with celestial knowledge like endless tides. When it fades, he stands transformed, his presence both mortal and divine simultaneously now. With unshakable resolve, he steps toward the next hidden gate, ready for further ascent. Tran Diep stands quietly as luminous energies swirl around his feet atop the heavenly platform. He feels transformed, his sword heart reborn, flowing like water yet cutting mountains apart. Around him, space trembles with sharp, invisible blades singing in cosmic harmony unseen. The celestial sword domain reveals itself as endless plains woven from ancient sword intent. Mountains shimmer like silver blades, valleys echo with whispering strikes of unseen masters. Each step forward makes ripples of swordlight rising, collapsing, merging within vast void. Tran Diep breathes deeply, sensing each breath transform into a glimmering sword of thought. Here, intent and reality blur. Sword is no longer weapon, but truth shaping existence. Suddenly, the ground quakes as colossal columns of sword energy pierce upward like dragons. The sky turns silver, veined with glowing sword streams forming celestial meridians above. Tran Diep steadies himself, heart calm, eyes reflecting the endless domain's blazing brilliance. He recalls the trial of annihilation where fear vanished, leaving only pure balanced will. A bell-like resonance echoes, summoning ancient presences beyond mortal comprehension completely. 3 pillars of light descend, shaping into towering figures cloaked in shimmering sword aura. These are the ancient sword spirits guarding the celestial domain across countless ages. One wears white robes, hair streaming like starlight, steps leaving blossoms of frost. Another wears red robes, eyes aflame, dragging rivers of molten blade fire behind. The third wears blue robes, quiet smile, hiding immeasurable depth, holding a silent sword. Together they form the Tri-Swords, suppressing heaven, testing every challenger's true path. You crossed the heart trial, the first spirit intones, voice echoing like distant bells. But body and Tao remain unproven. Merge with sword and pass through this sacred field. Tran Diep bows respectfully, his voice calm, requesting their guidance and instruction sincerely. Without warning, 3 torrents of sword force roar down like silver-red blue dragons entwined. The air vibrates as pure intent presses on his bones, muscles, soul beyond endurance. He draws Than Min's sword, moonlight blade humming like a living river under stars. His stance soft yet unyielding, channeling newly awakened sword heart born from annihilation trial. First strike, galaxy heavenly stream arcs outward, weaving constellations to block white flow. Second strike, fiery meteor shower. Erupts crimson fragments cutting through flaming blade storm. Third strike, no self clear void dissolves pressure, turning blue waves into quiet mist. All 3 torrents shatter like glass, collapsing into motes of silent light swirling. The 3 spirits exchange glances, shimmering eyes, reflecting his growth and comprehension fully. Petals of sword light bloom overhead, linking heaven and domain in silent approval. Blue-robed spirit speaks softly. You understand strength, soul, and emptiness, yet lack Tao. He gestures and draws forth Tran Diep's shadow sword, representing his personal path wholly. Carve your own move here, he commands. Show creation, not repetition of past forms. Tran Diep closes his eyes, recalling battles, mentors, friends, enemies, landscapes, each lesson. All memories condense into a single shining line, weaving through his consciousness like silk. He raises the blade slowly. No name for this strike, only endless flowing intent. Sword arcs thin as hair, yet infinite. A breeze carrying oceans, a whisper birthing storms. Space trembles, then heals as if universe inhales his strike as nourishment itself. The first spirit murmurs, sword of healing, astonished by unseen dimension of gentle power. The second nods, softness stronger than steel, recognizing paradox shaping his destined path. The third smiles. You forged light sword, a blade of creation within destruction eternally. 3 spirits bow simultaneously, acknowledging his mastery of force, soul, void, and Tao. Streams of light pour from their bodies, spiraling into his dantian as inheritance gift. His veins shine silver, bones resonate like tempered iron, spirit expands beyond horizons unseen. Inside his mind unfolds supreme grand 10,000 sword formation, ancient array unmatched. Around them the celestial domain shudders, shifting as pathways open toward higher palace. Stairs of radiant energy descend from clouds, forming a bridge into heavenly halls. He gazes upward, seeing floating palaces shimmering above, gateway to ultimate sword mysteries. Tran Diep bows deeply to 3 spirits, gratitude flowing from his renewed heart completely. Their forms dissolve into streaks of starlight, ascending back into domain's fabric gracefully. Silence follows, yet the echoes of their teaching remain carved inside his being. He senses his motivation transformed from vengeance toward freedom, merging with universal flow. Sword now is not weapon but cosmic current, shaping life and death simultaneously. He steps onto first glowing stair, feeling each tread test his balanced center. With each step, his breath synchronizes with invisible rhythms of heaven and earth. The higher he ascends, the thinner the stair, shimmering like crystal threads of fate. Above, the celestial palace gate opens slowly, a resonance of millions of swords singing. Golden wind blows across his face, sweeping away remaining shadows of doubt within. He remembers fallen comrades, their hopes resting upon his future, strides forward steadfastly. Determination rises. No arrogance, only calm acceptance of path unfolding before him naturally. Light from the palace washes over him, purifying marrow, blood, and soul completely. Tran Diep's robes flutter like banners of dawn, symbol of new chapter beginning. Far below, celestial sword domain closes like fading dream, but energy remains inside him. On stair 70, he glimpses spectral visions of legendary swordmasters bowing silently. Each vision transmits fragments of forgotten techniques, swirling into his growing comprehension swiftly. His mind expands beyond planetary scale, perceiving lattice work of cosmic sword veins. He whispers a vow to protect, create, and transcend, wielding life sword for harmony. Lightning of insight crackles around him, threads of law weaving into his aura. Now each heartbeat sends shock waves of swordlight toward infinite directions, binding reality gently. Higher still, the palace reveals floating libraries of jade tablets, shimmering secrets untold. He senses a pulse calling his name, deeper than memory, older than stars. At stair 90 he feels almost weightless, body and sword becoming one luminous stream. The final steps blur as his perception transcends ordinary notions of space-time boundaries. Before the gate, two enormous statues guard, carved from primordial meteor sword stone. Their eyes ignite with recognition, sensing the life sword resonance inside his dantian clearly. Gate creaks open, releasing fragrance of stars and roar of infinite blades within. He lifts his sword in salute, acknowledging guardians, stepping beyond threshold with composure. Inside the palace, a corridor stretches lined by endless hovering swords of light. Each blade hums ancient songs, testifying to countless cultivators' struggles across eras gone. The air itself weaves sword forms, teaching silently to those who can perceive deeply. Tran Diep walks, steadily absorbing rhythm without ceasing, letting understanding blossom naturally. Ahead rises a grand hall, where celestial murals depict the origin of sword. He recognizes patterns from dreams, signs of destiny guiding him to this chamber. Entering the hall, his footsteps echo like hammers, forging something unseen within him. Pillars of crystalline energy record universal sword principles, glowing faintly under his touch. He kneels briefly, honoring those who came before, feeling gratitude wash over his spirit. Suddenly the life sword within him vibrates, harmonizing with murals, igniting hidden runes surrounding. A vision erupts, showing galaxies born from a single strike, then dissolving into stillness. Tran Diep exhales, slowly integrating vision, steadying himself upon vast ocean of truth. He rises with newfound clarity, eyes brighter than stars, pulse steady like cosmic drum. This is not end, he whispers, only another beginning on endless sword path. Hall responds with ringing tone as if affirming his insight and determination sincerely. A new door materializes ahead, carved with symbols of creation and dissolution entwined beautifully. He steps toward it, palm grazing surface, feeling warmth like heartbeat of universe. Door swings inward, revealing spiral stair descending to unknown deeper trials and revelations. Without hesitation, he walks forward, each footstep echoing across hall of eternal swords. Behind him, palace quiets. Above him, stars align, forming blade constellation, blessing his journey. Tran Diep disappears into shimmering passage, ready for next challenge of sky-defying sword path. Tran Diep steps from the spiral hall, feeling his sword heart transformed beyond mortal limits. Stars flicker like sword points above. The immortal palace stretches endless beneath cold night sky. His breathing slows, merging with winds of heaven, sensing ancient echoes of countless past swordsmen. Inwardly he whispers, "This is only the beginning, a true path of endless struggle." A glowing portal opens, showing the lower realm burning under banners of the Shadow Alliance. Smoke rises from ruined towns, screams echo across valleys. Childhood memories surge like broken waves. Tran Diep grips the azure sword, pulse racing with fury and unspoken oath for justice. Without hesitation, he steps through the portal, dissolving into streams of golden sword light descending downward. The forest of his youth greets him with damp earth and distant bird calls. Xianxia appears, older and gaunt, carrying a chipped blade of faded glory. "Brother Tran. Truly, you returned." Xianxia's voice trembles with grief and sudden hope. Tran Diep nods, scanning the horizon, sensing hidden assassins stalking beyond trees' shadow edges. Xianxia recounts villages falling, innocents slain, searching for the secret of the supreme sword scripture. Tran Diep frowns, whispering darkly, "Still power, still greed. Nothing ever changes in their hearts." Together they move toward the rebels' camp, hidden in a misty mountain canyon beyond rivers. Fires flicker. Soldiers huddle, thin yet eyes burning bright with stubborn resistance and distant dreams. Tran Diep draws azure sword, aura sweeping the camp like dawn wind over frozen grass. Kneeling soldiers realize legends are alive. Their savior returns from the heavens wielding immortal power. "I'm no hero," Tran Diep says, "but I'll fight beside you for freedom." Before sunrise, horns echo. Shadow Alliance troops descend upon canyon, banners whipping under violent winds. Arrows fall. Rebels raise shields, spears trembling but hearts steadied by Tran Diep's presence. Tran Diep steps forward, alone, robe fluttering, sword light spiraling like celestial dragons from sky. One stroke shatters enemy vanguard, dust and shadow scattering, screams fading into ringing silence. Shadow Captain unleashes black vortex, trapping Tran Diep within a spinning cage of darkness. Eyes half closed, Tran Diep centers his sword heart, merging breath, earth, and starlight as one. A slow, deliberate slash dispels vortex. Captain's armor cracks like glass under tidal force. Soldiers stagger backward, fear rising. Never had they faced such unstoppable immortal sword domain. Rebels cheer, surging forward, pushing invaders back across bloodied rocks into shadowed trees. That night, Tran Diep sits alone, staring at moonlight dancing across his drawn blade. He senses a colder presence above, invisible, yet watching, like a hawk circling prey. Dark laughter vibrates through air. A masked figure emerges cloaked in writhing black smoke. You think returning here can change fate? The figure hisses, eyes glowing molten red. Tran Diep rises, calm and balanced, azure sword reflecting stars like living liquid light. Masked foe lunges, hands like scythes, striking with shadows twisting into jagged blades. Sword meets darkness, sparks explode. Mountain rocks shudder under clash of immortal and abyssal force. The figure retreats a step, surprised. You've grasped sword birth from immortal palace teachings. Tran Diep advances, blade weaving silent arcs, cutting illusions like wind-scattering mist. Shadows multiply, each a lethal trap. Yet his strike, wordless birth, erases them all. A flash. The masked foe dissolves, laughter echoing. We'll meet when blood eclipses moon. Alone again, Tran Diep sheaths sword, feeling tremor of looming war across realms fabric. Dawn breaks. Refugees approach Canyon Camp, kneeling, seeking protection under Azure Sword's banner. TNKH. GI proposes forging a new alliance, calling it the Sword League of Freedom. Tran Diep agrees. No vengeance, only balance, freedom. A blade that shields the innocent. He teaches sword heart breathing to soldiers, blending earth pulse and starlight into strikes. Weeks pass. Training transforms ragged men into disciplined fighters glowing with subtle, immortal intent. Villages, once abandoned, now rebuild, carving azure sword symbols above gates as talismans. Children play at sword forms Tran Diep showed, dreaming a future without shadow tyranny. Yet at night, Tran Diep senses ominous tides, darker powers moving unseen beneath ground. Clouds swirl black at horizon, thunder rumbling with whispers of approaching cataclysmic battle. Tran Diep climbs peak, robes snapping, eyes shining with promise of dawn within storm. He recalls lessons of healing through sword, soft edge beneath unyielding steel of justice. He writes letters to allies in Upper Realm, hoping to forestall inevitable escalation. TNK brings news of assassins slipping past borders, hunting relic of supreme scripture. Tran Diep draws silent maps on ground, planning counterstrikes like rivers, guiding hidden currents. Nights filled with meditation, forging sword birth deeper, merging it with compassion learned from hardship. Villagers bring offerings, whisper blessings, believing him chosen by celestial destiny's hidden hand. Yet Tran Diep knows destiny is forged, not granted. Each cut writes his own fate. On training field he shatters giant boulder with a flick, demonstrating controlled immortal energy. Soldiers cheer, confidence rising. TNKH, GI bows, calling him the blade above heaven itself. Tran Diep smiles faintly, remembering his humble birth and the forest paths of childhood. Scouts return warning of massive Shadow Alliance host gathering near Black Iron Fortress. Sword League mobilizes, banners snapping like wings, marching to intercept darkness at canyon mouth. Tran Diep walks among them, speaking calmly, instilling courage. A blade and a breath. Camps spread across hillsides, fires glimmer like stars on earth waiting for cosmic duel. Night winds bring scent of blood, foretelling dawn's inevitable clash of shadow and light. In dream, he sees masked foe kneeling before a throne of writhing obsidian serpents. Waking, he wipes sweat, whispering prayer to nameless spirits guiding sword's luminous edge. He remembers immortal palace masters' faces, each teaching etched like constellations in his soul. Soldiers look to him not only for strength but a vision beyond war itself. He sketches sword patterns in air, weaving protective sigils across camps, perimeter unseen. TNKHGI organizes scouts, supply lines, forging unity from chaos under Azure banner. Tran Diep instructs, meditations, breath enters, sword light grows, darkness dissolves before unshaken heart. Morning of March arrives. Sword League sets forth with thunderous steps, echoing mountain caverns. Tran Diep walks first, robe white as clouds, sword humming low like caged dragon. Black Iron Fortress looms distant, spires like claws ripping at the storm-heavy skies. Shadow Alliance drums pound, summoning darkness, earth trembling with foul power beneath boots. He orders halt, studying terrain, sensing hidden sigils carved to siphon life force of armies. A subtle gesture disperses curse marks, saving soldiers from unseen, draining doom awaiting them. Scouts cheer quietly, realizing his perception surpasses mortal senses and dark arts alike. Tran Diep kneels, presses palm to soil, feeling sorrow of thousands lost beneath wars. He whispers vow. This cycle ends. Or my sword will break, forging the path. Tien Ki stands beside him, loyal eyes steady despite weight of impending apocalypse. They share silent nod, brothers in arms, bound by blood, blade, and chosen destiny. In distance, masked foe reappears upon cliff, silently observing, cloak merging with storm clouds. Tran Diep lifts sword slightly, subtle salute acknowledging duel yet to come between equals. Lightning arcs behind, casting their silhouettes like mythic figures carved upon heaven's wall. Soldiers murmur legends, sensing clash of titans beyond mortal understanding soon to unfold. Evening falls. Campfires circle, shadows dancing like restless spirits preparing for final rites. Tran Diep meditates under starlight, merging cosmic energy with beating heart of lower realm. Dream visions show rivers of fire, cities collapsing, yet a single sword holding back chaos. He awakes, breathing steady, stronger resolve forging edge keener than any heavenly metal. Tien Ki hands him scrolls, detailing enemy movements, secret passageways hidden under fortress. Tran Diep nods, planning silent infiltration before dawn to shatter enemy's core from inside. Soldiers rest, unaware their leader will risk everything alone before main battle begins. He writes final note. If I fall, blade becomes yours, guard the innocent. Moon rises full, bathing armor intense in silver glow of forgotten prophecies. He draws azure sword, tracing circle in air, portal of shimmering light unfolding quietly. With one last glance at sleeping comrades, he steps into portal without hesitation. Stars wheel overhead as dimension folds, carrying him toward heart of darkness unmeasured. Thus ends chapter 59. Sword and shadow poised before cataclysm. Tran Diep's path unstoppable forward. Moonlight drapes over jagged towers as Diep silently approaches the fortress gates tonight. Cold wind carries metallic scent from distant chains within the looming black iron fortress walls. His fingers tighten around the sword hilt, feeling pulse of destiny within shimmering blade. He activates silent birth, suppressing his aura until it merges completely with surrounding darkness. Guards murmur about upcoming black sun ritual, unaware of shadow approaching behind them silently. DP slips through narrow gap, entering a labyrinth of twisting rune-carved corridors dripping fear. Glowing red sigils writhe upon stone walls, whispering ancient curses to repel intruders with horror. He extends sword sense like flowing water, mapping hidden traps and pulsing streams of forbidden power. Sweat beads his forehead, but determination burns brighter than eerie crimson lights surrounding him. At corridor's end, a massive stone door displays intertwined serpents bearing fanged mouths. He presses hand upon rough surface, channeling sword energy to unlock concealed locking mechanism within. Door trembles open slowly, revealing a cavernous chamber bathed in throbbing scarlet gloom inside. Hundreds kneel before black altar, chanting incantations as smoke coils upward forming a dark sphere. Blood flows down etched grooves, feeding altars, hungry core like veins feeding a monstrous heart. DP spots young LCC, knee-bound at center, eyes closed, aura faint, life slipping away. He steadies breath, realizing rash action might detonate ritual and destroy hostage instantly inside. Hidden behind grotesque statue, he charts pattern of energy beams linking pillars to floating sphere. Sword sense reveals for main nodes. Destroying them simultaneously could collapse entire ritual completely. A faint rustle warns him. Ally Tien Ki arrives, disguised, eyes flashing with urgency tonight. Whispered exchange conveys plan. Tien Ki handing Diep a flute amplifying divided sword energy. Together, they prepare, counting breaths before unleashing coordinated strike at ritual's supporting pillars. DP raises flute, breath-shaping, inaudible tone carrying sword force into 4 distant corners. The altar shudders violently as dark runes flicker, losing coherence under invisible harmonic assault. Cloaked worshippers scream in confusion as pillars crack, crimson light turning dull like fading embers. Intruder echoes through chamber while cultists draw curved blades, rushing forward in chaotic waves. DPS sword flashes like falling star, severing shadows, scattering sparks of black energy. Tien Ki lunges toward altar, cutting chains binding LCC knee with precise strikes of hidden dagger. LCC knee collapses, gasping weakly, but life still flickers within her trembling chest tonight. Dark sphere swells angrily, birthing colossal figure cloaked in void manifestation of the Shadow Lord. You dare disrupt my ritual. Thunderous voice shakes stones, vibrating marrow within bones around. DP steadies his stance, answering with calm resolve. 10H or not, you fall. The Shadow Lord extends tendrils of darkness, chains rattling as they whip toward Diep instantly. He pivots sharply, sword carving arcs of turquoise fire, shattering incoming chains into fragments. Sparks and shadows collide, generating storm of black lightning curling across cracked marble floor. Amusing, booms the entity. You've touched sword birth yet remain insignificant before true night. Dark sphere above shatters, raining thousands of jagged spikes forged from condensed shadow essence. DP draws deep breath, body dissolving into streaks of light, weaving between deadly spikes effortlessly. Each movement leaves afterimages of shimmering blades, neutralizing projectiles before reaching him. Through fierce clash he perceives weakness. Entity feeds directly on altar's remaining western core. He shouts to TNK, destroy the last node, cut his power at its root. TNKH, GI dashes, planting explosive seal upon glowing stone, unleashing detonation of purifying energy. Western node collapses. Dark conduits snap like cords, starving the Shadow Lord of Strength quickly. Seizing moment, DP channels all sword will into single thrust glowing brighter than sunrise. Sword birth one thought. He roars, piercing entity's chest, unraveling woven void threads completely. Shadow Lord shrieks, fragments scattering into whirlwinds that collapse inward, toward nothingness now. You cannot escape fate, voice echoes fading. Black sun rises and returns what I command. With ritual undone, altar crumbles, pillars falling like dominoes, ground trembling under released power. DP seizes LCC knee, sprinting toward exit as flames and shadows consume crumbling chamber walls. TNKHGI leaps beside him, shielding them from debris with hastily conjured barrier of shimmering wind. They plunge through corridor as monstrous quake split floor, revealing abyss of molten darkness. Sprinting faster, DP kicks off wall, vaulting across chasm with both allies in arms. Behind them, fortress towers collapse inward, giant quakes swallowing centuries of secret evil tonight. Quake shockwaves send black ravens screaming into sky, wings catching fire from swirling red embers. Trio bursts through narrow gap, tumbling down hidden cliff into rushing waterfall below instantly. Freezing water engulfs them, muting roar of destruction above, carrying them downstream rapidly together. They surface gasping, glancing back to see fortress silhouette disintegrating under dawn's first light. TNK coughs water, voice hoarse. Did we kill him, or only slow him temporarily? DP shakes head, eyes narrowing. Merely a fragment. True war lies still ahead for us. LCC knee whispers weakly, I knew you would come, eyes reflecting fading stars above sky. He touches her shoulder gently. I promised protection. That promise remains unbroken, always unbroken. Sunlight creeps over jagged peaks. Glinting off Than Min's sword, still humming with residual power. Mist rises from river, swirling around them like ghostly veil, signaling end of nightmare's chapter. They climb onto rocky shore, collapsing briefly, bodies trembling from exhaustion, but hearts steadfast still. DP scans horizon, sensing distant tremors of darker forces regrouping beyond mortal sight. He will come again, he murmurs, and we must sharpen blades before that inevitable return. TNK nods grimly. Wiping blood from lip, spirit unbroken, despite wounds carved upon flesh. LCC knee closes eyes, drawing fragile breath, feeling faint spark of hope flicker amid pain. Overhead, ravens scatter across sky, replaced by golden hawks, heralding dawn of resistance anew. DP stands, sword planted in earth, wind lifting torn cloak like banner of defiance. He vows silently to fallen comrades. Your sacrifice fuels the fire guiding my blade's path. Rising sun bathes valley, painting shattered cliffs in hues of amber, crimson and pale silver. Waterfalls thunder behind them, echoing like drums of destiny, calling warriors to greater battles. In distant memory, he hears Master's voice, reminding him true sword defends, not merely destroys. He breathes deeply, feeling merging of pain and clarity, forging sharper resolve within his core. A new plan forms. Seek lost heavenly codex before Black Sun ritual can be attempted again. He turns toward allies, expression softened but eyes unwavering. We leave now. Long road awaits. TNK tightens grip on staff. Then we walk together. Three shadows facing endless storm. LCC Ni manages faint smile. We will not let darkness claim this world without fierce struggle. Clouds break apart, revealing patch of blue sky like promise glimmering beyond lingering night. Their footsteps splash across riverstones, each echo marking survival and renewed oath to fight. Nearby deer lift heads, sensing sword aura but feeling no malice, only guarded determination emanating. Forest whispers and morning breeze, carrying scent of pine and distant smoke from ruined fortress. DP closes eyes briefly, engraving every detail of this fragile dawn into warrior's memory. He reopens them, light flashing. This is not end. It's the opening strike of war. Tien Ki chuckles darkly. If that was opening strike, heavens will tremble at final blow. LCC Ni straightens slowly, gathering strength. Then we become storm before darkness gathers again. Birds sing tentative notes, cautious yet hopeful, mirroring fragile hope blooming within war-weary hearts. Swords, turquoise glow fades, but deep resonance lingers, promise of awakening during future need. Path ahead twists through mist-shrouded canyons toward hidden sanctuaries, forging alliances and knowledge. They step forward, shadows stretching long behind under rising sun, symbols of trials endured before. Wind lifts torn banners from fallen cultists, scattering fragments like ashes of old nightmares. Somewhere far above, unseen eyes watch, calculating next move as cosmic chessboard resets its pieces. DP senses gaze but does not falter, trusting blade and companions to cut destiny's chains. Let them look, he whispers, I carve our own fate beyond their sightful reach always. River bends southward, leading toward fabled mountains rumored to conceal lost sword ancestors' library. Each step forward feels heavier, yet purposeful, anchored by vision of world, freed from shadow. Tien Ki hums old melody, weaving courage through morning air like protective charm for them. LCC Ni leans against Diep briefly, whispering thanks, strength drawn from his unwavering presence there. Together they ascend rocky ridge, silhouettes framed by sunlight breaking over shattered dark realm. Last glance back reveals smoke rising where fortress stood, silent testament to battle hard won yet unfinished. If you find it interesting, remember to subscribe to the channel and receive notifications so you don't miss the next episodes.